Hello everyone, welcome back to Please Listen with John Follett, the only podcast for people who've never been sent to the principal's office as a kid. I'm not included in that. That couldn't be me. Never be me. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a bad boy. I mean, check this out. Oh, did you see that? Dude, that was fucking crazy. For people listening to just the audio, I flipped off the camera in a really badass way. But yeah, I was sent to the principal's office once. And I'll never forget it. In all seriousness, I was I was a rule follower. I was a tool in a lot of ways in school. I followed the school rules, and because of that, school ruled. Because I followed the school rules. That's what I did. But I was sent to the principal's office once. Because, you get, in school, even someone like me, a goody two-shoes, you get in with the wrong crowd of people. You have bad influences all around you. Me and my friends, I don't remember what the context was, like what led me to do this. But it ended up, we were just running down the hallways, is what was happening. We were running down the halls, and it was a hallway, and so picture just one strip of hallway, and there's kind of like other strips, picture like an E shape, where it's like hallways like branching out, to one side of us. And what I was doing, all my other friends, they were fucking idiots. They were just running down like there was no tomorrow. What I was doing, I was running when I got to the opening of the other hallway, of the perpendicular hallway, I would slow down in case anybody saw me. And I would do that. And then I think one of the hallways, I look to my side, and there I see the dean of the school. Like the actual dean. We lock eyes, and she could see me running and then slowing down. So I guess I wasn't hiding it that well, even though I was prepared to, even though I knew that was a possibility that someone would see me as I was passing by. And then she fucking caught me, and I was like, damn. And she took me and my two friends, I don't know how many people were there. She brought us to the office. I guess this isn't the principal. I guess this is technically the dean's office. So I guess I do apply to that, what I said at the beginning. But she took us in. She was like, you ran in the hallways, right? And I was so scared. I was literally shaking in the seat. I had never done anything like that before. I didn't do it since. I had never faced anything like that. She said, you're running in the hallways, right? And I was like, yeah. And then she said, you're not supposed to do that, right? And I was like, I know. Actually, she pulled up school security footage of us doing it. And she did a play-by-play, see, that's you? Yeah, that's you running. Look at that. And she showed me, she was like, look at you. And you run, and then you slow down, and then you run again, and then you slow down. She literally showed me my fucking genius plan to not get caught. Now, I don't remember how that ended. She could definitely tell that I was super scared. I got off easy. Here's the thing. This is a little bit, I kind of got treated I got a little bit of favorite treatment because the dean was friends with my mom. This is how you do it. This is what is this? Does this count as nepotism? I don't know. But the dean was friends with my mom. And I was friends with the dean's son at the school. He wasn't one of the guys I was running with. But he was to my friends, he was like, I'm going to tell your mom about this. But to me, she was like, yeah, I'm going to give you off with a warning. I'm not going to tell anyone about this because I know your mom and blah, 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 blah. She threatened me instead, but she didn't tell. To this day, my parents don't know that I ran in the hallways in 3rd grade. I think they would disown me if they did. So I'm glad that she saved me. She really did. She really jumped on a grenade for me there. Um, and then I got off scot free, and I'm glad. That could have, in another life, that could have taught me the lesson of like, crime does pay. It looks like I can get away with anything if I just give them the big eyes, right? But it didn't. It taught me a good lesson to don't run in the hallways. But if you do, be more prepared. I guess take out the security cameras. Um, don't make eye contact. Wear like a facial prosthetics to make yourself unrecognizable. If I ever want to run the hallways, I don't think I ever ran in a hallway since then. I'm too scared to run in a hallway ever since that happened. If I'm missing a flight at the airport, I have to walk. I have such bad trauma from that moment. I can't run in a hallway. If I was in like a fucking Michael Myers horror Halloween movie, I'm dying because I don't want to run in a hallway. I'll run in an open field, like the way you were meant to as young Neanderthal cavemen. Also, my friends, they were kind of, I talked about how they were like kind of like the bad influences. They were always getting in trouble, so it made sense that they would tell their parents about that. It's just another one to add to the list. But she knew that I was good. And the school that I went to in second grade was fucking crazy, dude. In second grade, I think I was living in the South. I lived in Alabama for a year when I was in second grade. And that school, dude, that was like, for some reason, it was like the weirdest, wildest school you could have gone to. Like almost every day I was seeing kids. Like, for some reason, kids at that school, they would just fucking freak out and like get violent. And I was always seeing kids getting like dragged away from by teachers. Like it happened like almost every day. I don't know, is that how, like, are they allowed to do that? Because I remember one time we were walking like from one class to the other. And there was this courtyard, and we were all standing single file. The courtyard is like, the path was like kind of like shaped like a T. We were going down the part that goes up and down of the T. And then around the corner was one kid. He was being held up like this, like with his arms up, almost like a Jesus Christ pose. And then two teachers on either side of him holding him up by his arms, like lifting him off the ground. And he was just fiercely kicking. He was just kicking at anything, like just kicking his feet around, trying to get out any way he could. Yeah, the kid was just he was carried by our class. They just walked by our line, and then one of his fucking wild kicks. One of them, I got caught in the crossfire, and one of his kicks hit me really hard in the leg, and I was like, "Oh, fuck!" I hit the Peter Griffin. What did I do? I got caught in the midst of something, like wrong place, wrong time. Kind of like, what the hell? Like friendly, like we're all in this together, dude. You're not supposed to hit another one of the students. That's friendly fire. It's us versus the teachers. I felt betrayed in that moment. I wanted to show you guys this horrible AI video that I found. We got 2 frames of video. In text that reads, Marvel spent $1.5 million and 6 months on the disintegration scene. Why is that so weird for me to say? Disintegration scene. Now you can do it with AI in minutes for $9. On the bottom is the footage of the people dusting away after Thanos snapped, and the top is an AI version of that. And so we can just look at, oh my god, how amazing is that? Wow. With $9 you can do this, guys. Oh, didn't that look so good? Look at the random source of light coming from Falcon's shoulder. That's so amazing. So it's basically just AI can do this. The snarkiness of this like pisses me off. And also like the top one looks like shit. It's like, yeah, if you just want them to dust away, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it is kind of like if you just compare like just this first one with Wanda, you can see in the movie version, like she gets, and like each of the dust particles are actually like separate like little things, whereas the top she just becomes like a weird like she literally becomes like she becomes nothing. She's like becomes like this weird murky like I don't know cloud, and then it just disappears. And also in all these AI ones, you can see like that they stop at a certain frame of their expression to like, and they continue to disintegrate. Whereas in the Avengers one, you can see them; they're still like emoting up until the very end. Whereas this one, it stops at a frame, and then so they're like for the last few seconds, their face is just frozen in this lifeless gaze, and it's really pissed me off. And the random glowing from Falcon's shoulder. Yeah, it's like, and look at Peter. You can see the moment he becomes a fucking like AI, like soulless AI right here. He just goes, "Oh, I have no life anymore. I have no life in my eyes." Really great stuff, guys. I mean, it looks like it costs $9. I'll say that much. That's what I'll say. Yeah, but I just thought that was fucking stupid. Fuck AI. I've made multiple videos like making fun of AI across on this channel before. Fuck AI art specifically. And I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't want to like the AI that like discovers cancer. That's pretty good. I like that AI. The other AIs, I could take it or leave it. You know. The next thing that I wanted to talk about in the second half of this show is a show that I watched and that had just finished airing this past week, and that is Star Wars Andor Season 2. This is the second and final season of Star Wars Andor. And little backstory for this. When Season 1 came out and I watched Season 1, it quickly became my favorite piece of Star Wars media, like across all of the stuff that they've made. Probably one of the best shows that I've ever watched. And actually, I'm gonna. Well, since I'm talking about Star Wars, I might as well just have Baby Yoda with me. Baby Yoda is joining us with for this discussion today. I don't know. He felt like he just wanted to chime in and give his thoughts every now and then. So he'll be sitting here in case he has anything to say. If you're wondering why I have Baby Yoda, I don't know. He pays rent. He just needed a place to stay. And so here's the thing about Star Wars. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. I'm more of a Marvel guy. If you couldn't tell by now, I do like a lot of things in Star Wars. Like I grew up watching the prequels and playing the Lego game. I do like I would say, I mean, before Andor, my favorite things were, of course, the original trilogy, mostly Empire. I liked The Mandalorian. I like Solo. Solo is a movie. I think that's like underrated. That's an underrated movie. I think that one's like really. It's like fun, and it's like I don't know. I just remember really enjoying it when I watched that one. But I haven't. I'm not. Oh, I also like the Cal Kestis games. I think those are good. Those are great games. And I like the story to those ones too. But I'm not huge into Star Wars. I'm more of like I know more than the average Joe, but I'm more casual in my fandom of it. I mean the thing with Star Wars, it's like I don't know how anybody like keeps track with that lore. Like I can't remember all these fucking like planet names and like all these alien like terms. So it's impressive all the people that have encyclopedic knowledge of that. So I mean, congratulations to them. But I don't know. It's hard to do it. I do think that it's cool how like it's something that I wish the MCU would do. It's how they have like they like branch out so much and like all their stuff that like ties into the main universe. Like they have games, they have comics that are canon, books probably. I think it's cool. I guess Star Wars is more expansive. It's like multiple planets all around, like fucking light years away. Spoilers for Andor season 2 and season 1 and probably the rest of Star Wars. When season 2 was like announced and they were hyping it up with like people talking about what it's going to be like, I kind of got nervous. I was like, cause they had said, I don't know, I think maybe Tony Gilroy, the showrunner, he was like, it's going to take place over 4 years. It's going to be 4 arcs. Every 3 episodes is one arc, and it's going to jump a year. And then learning about, like, I mean, people loved the first season, so obviously they were going to put more money into it and like more marketing. And I was afraid that like they were getting like too ambitious with it. And they were going to kind of be like, there's a lot of eyes on this, like, and the studio heads would want to like micromanage it a little more because they knew that more people were going to be watching it as opposed to the first season. Maybe like, because I don't think it performed super well season 1, like numbers wise, because everyone was like, an Andor show, why are they making that? That's but then since it turned out to be really good, everyone tuned back in. What's that, Baby Yoda? Oh, Baby Yoda's speaking to me. Oh, he said that his favorite Star Wars character is Captain Spock. I don't. That's not Star Wars, Baby Yoda. That's Star Trek. That's Star Trek. Yeah, you fucking idiot. That's Star Trek. It's 2 different things. Get it right. Sorry. Sometimes you got to teach some sense into them while they're young. But yeah, I was afraid that they were getting... Dude, his ear is fucking digging into my arm. I don't know how to hold this gremlin. But I was afraid that they were going to get too ambitious and kind of go big, right? And it was going to kind of lose like the nuance and the passion that went into the first season. But it's safe to say after watching it, I mean, Andor season 1 and 2 is now my favorite piece of Star Wars media ever made. Not just season 1, now the whole package. It went from first place to an even higher first place after season 2 because, god damn, I mean, if you couldn't tell by like the ratings, apparently the last 5 episodes have like, or maybe it's like episodes, I don't know, there's a 5 episode run in Andor season 2 that is the first TV series to have, in history, to have 5 episodes in a row be rated 9.5 or above on IMDb. And so like it's pretty apparent that this show is fucking amazing. And it's like, I mean, from the beginning of season 2, like what quelled my fears initially, like that first scene is like, you can tell like the writing is just quality. Like it's just like that one girl, I forget her name, but she was in just that one opening scene for like 5 minutes. And she was like such an interesting and like, I really like, she was like empathetic because she was like so nervous. She was like some like Imperial pilot that was like helping out Cassian steal this ship. She was like, I'm so nervous, but something. And she was afraid to look at him. And it's like, I don't know. It was like, I cared about this character and I felt for her. And I was like, I really hope nobody finds out that she facilitated this because they will kill her. They'll fucking kill her. They've done it before. And yeah, so yeah, just from the get-go, I was like, okay, yeah, this is we're back. All right, this is Andor. All right, time to buckle back in. I will say though, I do think the first 3 episodes they were kind of, and this is similar to the first season, they were kind of slow, which makes sense. I mean, it's like it follows both seasons. They kind of have like a progression to them where it's like slow and then everything crescendos into something. But I think there were moments in the first arc among these 3 episodes that kind of felt like it was one episode just like stretched into 3. And I'm mainly talking about, when I say that, I'm mostly referring to Mon Mothma's subplot with the wedding. She has to, in order to fund the rebellion, she has to set up a marriage between her daughter and the son of this like bank guy, just so he can like give her the funds that she needs to fight the Empire. which is like fucking crazy. It's like super. I mean, Mon Mothma is such like an interesting character in this, but I do feel like the wedding thing, like, I don't know. They made the wedding ceremony in this. It's just 3 days for some reason. I don't know why. Because it's like, I mean, most of the scenes are just like people in fancy rooms talking to each other. There is a really cool at the beginning, like in the first episode. There's that awesome like one shot that they do where it's just like following the different characters, and it's really long too. I mean, I guess I can just imagine like the actors in this being like it's like a stage play, because they're all like, most of them are like fucking British actors, and the British actors, they love their like their stage acting, so they're like, it's just like I'm on the stage, I can all in one go, we can do this, guys, let's do this. So they're just like having scenes of dialogue within like an 8-minute one take. It probably was like 5 minutes. I don't know how. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what it was. Although there is the really great moment. I think what caps it off. I think it was the third episode, the last one of the arc. Where there's like this dance party, and it's like playing this like techno, like, and Mon Mothma's going so fucking hard. She's like dancing, like throwing her arms around and nodding her head. She's like going crazy. It's like, it's so, I don't know, it's like, it's an interesting juxtaposition of like the bombastic dances that she's doing with like because like right before that she just like heard that Luthen was going to kill this one guy. It's juxtaposing like all the weight of all the sacrifices she's making for this rebellion against her. Like it's I mean, it's a visual representation of her like dance monkey dance, like having to play nice with all these people just to stop the Empire. And I thought that was really poignant and interesting. After that was episodes 4 through 6. This was the one, I think there were like, oh yeah, they set up the big thing of this season is Gorman, the planet Gorman with the gore. Seasons 4 through 6, I think, was like, they were kind of like scoping out Gorman and seeing like what's going on there. This is where I think Cassian and Bix stayed in like the Coruscant safe house, which it becomes more important later on. I do think if I could level another criticism, I think this is like my only other criticism, and then everything else is like perfect from here on out. I was kind of disappointed how like Bix, she kind of becomes like a stay-at-home mom in this season. Like literally, like at the end of like almost a lot of the arcs, like Cassian just comes home and she's just there, and she's like, hey, I cleaned our house for us. She hugs and kisses him, and like that's pretty much all she's like relegated to. I mean, she has that PTSD, but then she deals with that. She blows up the guy that was torturing her, and then the rest of the season she's a stay-at-home mom, and then she fucks off and she leaves. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. Did they want that allusion to like to traditional households? I don't know what purpose that would drive home. But yeah, I would. I mean, and Bix wants to get more involved in like rebellion stuff, but I feel, but she doesn't really get the chance to ever. But she does help out the rebellion in one way, which I'll probably talk about later. Oh, Bix is kind of the center of, I would say, the biggest controversy surrounding this. It's kind of nonsense, the controversy surrounding this. In episode 3, there was a scene depicting sexual assault. An Empire officer like attempts to rape Bix, and they actually say the word rape. I'm surprised that they said the word rape. I mean, it was kind of, I have no issue with that, but it was kind of like jarring. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe. I thought they would call it like some like alien phrase, like blink blonked. He tried to blink blonk me in my boople, something like that. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. This is serious. And of course, all these people had problems with it. There's that one infamous tweet of like, I think it said something like, Darth Vader would not let you rape people. he wouldn't condone it. I think that's so fun. I think that's so funny. Thinking of like being like the guy. I mean, come on, dude, we watched the movies, right? That guy killed so many kids. Vader, Anakin, he killed a room full of kids. He killed kids in the second movie also. Tusken Raider kids. That's where he draws the line. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did they make the Empire too unlikable for you? I mean, it's interesting, like, being like, what audiences are able to forgive in terms of like horrible crimes and still being like, because I mean, there's a lot of people that still think of Anakin as like the hero of the story, the true hero, just because he throws the Emperor off of a ledge after, I mean, backing him for like 16 years and blowing up so many planets and killing thousands of people. He's still the hero because right at the end, he throws the emperor down a corridor, and he blows up. But yeah, I don't think that's the case. I don't think. I mean, maybe Vader would have a problem with it. He wasn't there. Who says that the Empire condones it? The guy was just. I mean, he was acting on his own accord. Or there was that other guy with him. Maybe he was just like a creepy guy, like a manager at a Walmart could try and rape someone. Do you think I wouldn't automatically assume that Walmart supports that? But it's so funny to think that Vader would be like, all right, hold on, whoa, stop. You didn't ask for consent, dude. That's like that goes against everything that we're doing here. Get that? Like, can we get rid of this guy? I'm so sorry, Bix. Did he hurt you? Did he make you uncomfortable? Is he making you uncomfortable, Bix? Vader would not give a fuck. He would not give a fuck, dude. He's probably like a frat guy. Anakin was definitely like a frat dude. Whatever the Star Wars equivalent of that is. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think it makes, I mean, it helps drive home the point of how disgusting the Empire is. Building off of what season 1 did. I think it's a very mature thing for Star Wars to, and the scene itself is just, I hate scenes like that. There's one scene in The Sopranos like that. I hate watching stuff like that. I hate it. Isn't that right, Baby Yoda? Don't do that. Whenever you grow up in 5,000 years. I think the show did a great job at like showing how widespread the resistance was, because it's like it's everywhere. You like all these different like groups and like factions. You got like Luthans, like little like, I mean, there's not that many of people working for Luthen. It's kind of him, Clea, and like the one, what was his name, Lonnie, the guy with the ISB officer. Then you got Saw Gerrera and his crew, and then you got like the Yavin guys. With where Mon Mothma goes and Bail Organa. And there's also the guys on Gorman, the Gorman resistance group, the fucking worst resistance fighters of all time, the stupidest. Like I would like those are who the Gore have to rely on. There's that one fucking idiot who's like, and they're like, don't bring a gun when they do the heist. They're like, don't bring a gun to the heist. Okay, because if you bring a gun, you're like you're planning on using it, and then he brings a gun, of course, and then he accidentally shoots Cinta. That, like, what the fuck? What an how do you manage to do that? They should have just killed him like right then and there, and he kind of redeems himself by saving Cassian by hitting the robot while it was chasing them, but like no. He should have done that, and then immediately after just fucking walked into the ocean. And yeah, you guessed it right, guys. They made it woke. They had Cinta and the redhead girl. They were kissing for a long time too. And like come on. And you could have like gone out of focus or like put like a blur effect on it. Come on, guys. They made it woke, dude. Come on. They made Star Wars. They made Star Wars woke. What the heck? When I saw that scene, I got up and I walked away. And then I went to the bathroom and I sat back down because I unpaused it and I kept watching it. I had to go pee. That was what I wasn't insinuating that I was like pleasuring myself after seeing two girls kiss. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, guys. But after that, the next arc, many people would say is like the peak. It's kind of the main climax of the season. I heard it explained like the Gorman massacre is like the climax of the season, and then the next 3 episodes are kind of a prologue, epilogue, which one, whatever it's a precursor to Rogue One. It leads like directly into Rogue One. But the Gorman massacre was like the peak of the show for a lot of people, and I would honestly agree. It's like fucking. I mean, it's like I was like loving. Like I was in a trance. It was like it was transcendent experience watching those episodes. Sadly, we see the death of a beloved character, Cyril Karn. He dies in preceding his death is like a great scene where I mean, it's like it's so great leading up to it, where they're showing them like in the same frame, but they don't see each other. It's like kind of like the dramatic irony of like they're right there. The guy that Cyril, the guy that you've been hunting this whole time, he's right there. But just seeing like Cyril's like, I mean, it's so interesting to see like Cyril. He was like determined to help out the Empire. It was so I was so disgusted at their plan. Like it was so fucked up. Like he was baiting the Gorman resistance group into thinking that he was a spy, but he was actually not a spy. But he was a spy for the Empire. And he was like, their whole plan was literally just to build up this resistance group, so that they would plan this like coordinated protest, and they manufactured someone shooting at one of the Empire officers just so they could kill them all. Like it's so like fucked up. And then I mean, Cyril does recognize that. He didn't question why they were doing it. Maybe, I don't remember, did he have his own understanding of what was going to happen? But him realizing like, oh, this Empire is evil. What have I done? That was like so interesting to see, and he's just like walking around like a ghost, just like looking at all the destruction that's going on. And then he spots Andor, and they get into just an old-fashioned fist fight. It's good just seeing an old-fashioned fist fight in Star Wars. I feel like we don't get that, but it's usually like shootouts or like lightsaber force stuff. It's good seeing just two regular guys just get into a good old-fashioned fist fight, and it's like a really brutal, like no holds barred. Like I really liked well choreographed. I really like fight scenes like that. And then I mean, to top it off, Cassian's just like, who are you? And Cyril realizes, I mean, after all this, he realizes like, damn, the guy I've been hunting doesn't even fucking recognize me. And then he gets shot in the head and he dies. So rest in peace. Rest in peace to a real one. He was a great character up until the very end. And then they bring in the SO droids. Is that what they're called? They're whatever K2SO is, those type of droids, and they just fuck people up. And then they take one of them, and he becomes the one that's in Rogue One. Alan Two Dicks comes back to voice K2SO. I just brought that up so I can make that joke, because I'm probably the first person to think of that pun with his name, Alan Two Dicks. Two Dicks. That's way too many. Like, come on, you got to give it to me. If you rearrange the letters in his name, you get anal. Anal Two Dicks, really? This sounds like it hurts. Sorry, that wasn't even funny, dude. And then finally, the last 3 episodes, the final arc, the last 3 episodes of Andor ever. It starts with episode 10. Yeah, 10. Episode 10 starts with like one of the best scenes ever of the show. It's Luthen and Dedra. She shows up at his antique shop, and it's like the most tense scene between two of I think they're the most interesting characters in the show. Dedra and Luthen. I think they're the best characters, I would say, in terms of the complexity and like performances, and just seeing them just like go. And they're also like two of the most competent people. Seeing them like try and like, I don't know, like they're like puffing their chests a little bit, like playing like a little game of like of bluffing that they don't know the other one, like what's going down, like what the weight of what is happening is. And then Luthen, he shows Dedra that little knife. He's like, here's my knife. Look, it's got Kit Fisto on it. I recognize that. Yeah, I know a little bit about Star Wars. That was a Kit Fisto alien. And then he fucking then she brings out like the box from the first couple of episodes of the first season, that blown up box that Cassian was trying to sell. And then Luthen just fucking turns around and he stabs himself, just so she can't interrogate him and get information out of him. And Luthen is, I say what you want about him, like his methods are kind of fucked. And he's a little ruthless. At least he's not a hypocrite. I mean, he's willing to die for this shit. He'll kill anyone. He'll even kill himself. You can feel as the season goes on, like the ever growing desperation of Luthen, of like realizing like he's running out of time. Like he doesn't have time to like worry about like the perfect cover. He's showing up, like he's meeting Mon Mothma, just like not even in his character. And yes, you realize like he knows that he's running out of time. He even says something like we're out of perfect or something, like we're out of like a perfect way to like escape route or something like that, or like cover story. And then he stabs himself this is at the beginning of the episode. The episode starts with Luthen in critical condition. Dedra brings him to the hospital because she's like, I want to get information out of him. And then the rest of the episode is about Clea, Luthen's like right hand gal. And Clea she kind of becomes like an MVP in these last 3 episodes. And it's so fucked what they do, because what they do is, for the rest of the episode, Clea is like, because Luthen, he's alive, but he's incapacitated. He's in critical condition at this hospital that Dedra brings him to. And so Clea's mission is to go to the hospital, like sneak in and take him off life support so he fucking dies, and they can't extract any information out of him. And what they do is they intercut that with the backstory of how Luthen and Clea met. Luthen met Clea when she was like a little girl. He kind of became like a father figure and like introduced her to like rebelling against the Empire. And it's like they build up the relationship of like a father-daughter figure, intercut with her about to go kill him, or let him, cause him to die. It's so messed up that the way that they do that. It's devious. It's devious the way that they do that. Although it's a really great scene when she kisses him on the head and she takes out like the respirator, like the air, whatever thing's pumping air into his lungs, and they give it like they give like his death like a proper like ceremonial like send off. That's what it ends. The episode ends like a really long fade out to black. I think it's good. It's like, cause Luthen, he was like the spearhead of this, of what leads to the rebels winning, and I think it was really, I thought it was cool. That was really cool, and he deserves it. He's a great character, great actor. I love Stellan Skarsgård. Then the other thing that I wanted to talk about right in the last episode. Last episode is like Cassian. He goes to Yavin, where all the Bail Organa is, and all the other guys. And he hears about this Death Star from Clea, and they're all like, I don't know if you believe it. They're all like kind of skeptical about how true it is, because they didn't really like trust Luthen that much, because he's kind of a freak in terms of rebels. You know, he's a little bit more volatile, I guess. His methods are a little shadier. This episode, one of the last scenes has. I had to write down his name because I did not fucking remember it, or I did not retain it. He's this ISB guy. He's like the head of the ISB. His name is Partagaz. I don't know how to pronounce it. He has like the white, like slick back hair. And there's a scene where they play Namek, whatever the fuck his name is. The guy that wrote the book about fighting that dies during the heist in Aldani. Like his manifesto, and he's listening to it in his little room, and he's like, and the manifesto is talking about like, you can't stop the rebellion because it spreads. What the Empire is doing is so difficult to maintain because it's against the natural way of life. And he's listening to it, and he's just like he has this realization. It's honestly the coolest, like one of the coolest scenes, just seeing like, because the Empire, I mean, they're technically, they have like the upper hand. They have like seemingly infinite resources, and seeing someone a part of that like genuinely get scared by like the sheer willpower of the rebellion is it's crazy, because he has this realization that he's like, we're destined to fail. Like the rebels are everywhere. They're gonna stop us because, like, oh my god, fuck. I dedicated my whole life to this. Shit. I had to wear this stupid outfit all day where like it billows out on my thighs. I look like a fucking idiot. Man, I really chose the wrong thing. And then he shoots himself in the head, and it's kind of, I mean, the scene itself is like so like, it's kind of surreal in a sense. But it also is like, I guess it is kind of hopeful, because it's like, yeah, the Empire should be scared. Like, fuck them. And then the last scene of the show is crazy, because, you know, fucking get rid of Baby Yoda. We got Baby Andor now. You see Bix in the little farm cornfield planet that she's in after she leaves Andor, so he can. Andor, like, after the Gorman thing, he's like, I want to leave and I want to start a family. I forget about the rebellion, so she leaves just so Andor can stay a part of the rebellion until the fight's over. And it turns out that Bix had a baby, little Andor Jr. That's what I'll call him. And she walks out. She looks out in the sun with the little baby in her hands. It's actually quite a large baby. You know, like the baby was kind of, maybe it's been a year. So at least the baby is. Depends on. It doesn't look like she knew. Like, she didn't look like she was like. I don't know anything about pregnancy, honestly. But so like at the very least, it was about, the baby was about. Or at the very most, I guess the baby was about like 4 or 5 months old. And you know, it's nice. It's nice to see, because, of course, in Rogue One, Andor dies in a big explosion. And it's nice to know that he has a legacy that he leaves behind, and it's not just, it makes it a little more bittersweet. I guess, I mean, more of a legacy than causing the Death Star to blow up. Like him that was kind of his original legacy. He's kind of like what leads to the rebels winning in the end. But besides that, he has a little Andor baby that can now grow up. He'll never know the good deeds of his pop. So I think that's how they're gonna do season 3 of Andor Jr. They're gonna have a baby. They're gonna have a baby just going undercover in Imperial bases. A few times while I was watching the show, I kept thinking about, like, obviously the show is great. The show is amazing, and also the original trilogy is amazing. I kept thinking about, like, on their own, they're amazing. I kept thinking about like kind of the difference in, like, tones between them. Because I was thinking about, like, all the stuff that goes behind the rebellion, like all the. Because in this show, like, there's like everybody's like listening in on everybody, and everybody's like doing recon, and they're all like they're playing an angle on someone, and they're like undercover doing this. This guy works for this person, and this guy's actually secretly with this guy. It's like this web of like spy stuff and like decepting people, and like master grand plans. And then like you cut to New Hope, and it's just like Luke and Han and Chewbacca. They're just fucking around on the Death Star. And Han Solo's got like his feet up on the center console, and it's like if I was watching that, like after watching this, I'd be like, you fucking idiots. You have no idea what you're dealing with, dude. You know how people, you know what I mean? Luthen died for this. You know how many people died for this? Be respectful. Like not even that that's a bad thing. It makes sense because Han and Luke, they didn't understand the weight of any of it. Like they were just learning about this now. Like they did that like over an afternoon. They found out, people are rebelling the Empire. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought it was fucked up when they do it and they executed those kids in front of everybody. I didn't know that we were able to go against that. But it's interesting to see the juxtaposition. And I was even thinking that because apparently episode 9, the one where Mon Mothma gives that amazing speech about Palpatine, and that one leads like directly into an episode of an animated show, The Rebels, the one with Ezra, and the weird green lady, and Zeb. I know Zeb. Zeb was in The Mandalorian. And yeah, so I haven't seen any of Rebels. I haven't seen any of the animated stuff in Star Wars, but like I'm just imagining like the tonal difference in that, because I would assume that Rebels is like more geared towards kids, not just because it's animated, but because it was on like Disney XD. I'm pretty sure like it was a kids show primarily. I heard a little bit about the episode. They're like blowing up like huge things, and like there's like I don't know, there's like crazy stuff going on. So it's like so crazy like seeing the like Andor's like super detailed, like I don't know, because they're always like they're super careful of like not to cause too much of a splash, not to get these people involved, and like do things kind of under the radar. And they just cut to Rebels and they're just like blowing shit up, and they're swinging around lightsabers. I don't know, actually I don't know what happens in that, but like those things happen like 30 minutes away from each other. It's kind of it's honestly like it might be hard to adjust, but I kind of love that, in the terms of like a shared universe where like things can be like so totally different, but they still like take place in the same universe. Anyways, those are all my thoughts on Andor season 2. Great show overall, amazing show, one of the best shows of all time. Probably it'll probably go down as that. Let me know what you guys thought of it. I expect nothing but good things. If you say something bad about the show, you don't even want to know what I'll do to me, to you, to hospitals. I'll go fucking crazy. I would love to see a Star Wars movie or show like in the vein of Andor, where it's like super sad and tragic, but the main character is like a weird alien. Like I want to see like one of those stupid looking aliens, like the one like that we see the Clea pushes around in the hospital, like one of those aliens. But they have like the most sad, tragic backstory, and like stuff is always going wrong. Like their whole family gets gunned down in front of them, and they become like this hardened badass. I would love to see that. They should do something like that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I saw a really good review in the Instagram comments section of the show. I'll insert it here. And now, Instagram comments review Andor season 2. Low stakes, since we already know what happened and already have plenty of background into how the rebellion began. Too many main characters. The Force is what makes Star Wars interesting. Not enough action, no Emperor, no Vader. It's more art house flick than Star Wars.
Listen to me. It's a really good show. The best show I have seen in Disney Plus. Production quality is outstanding. Dialogue are very great. Acting too. Very solid theory about the price you pay for a rebellion. But to me it's too much realistic that you are one world of SW, but it doesn't feel like SW. What's with this idea that the rebellion is leftist? The Empire really doesn't seem to be political and bent. It is about the Emperor's goals of control. Without doubt, Maw is a pseudo-anarchist, which feels left, but Luthen is operating within the wealthy elites and drawing funds and support from them. Mothma seems to be centrist if anything, just trying to unite people. It seems unlikely that anything we think of as politics would even fit within Star Wars. People are more aligned to fit either a support of central government or that of planetary interest and autonomy.